Gordon Smart, this is Radio X, and I am joined by the one and only David Grohl.
Oh.
Now, there's a reason for that, Mr. Grohl.
Why?
We interviewed your mum last year.
That's right.
I don't want to be rude, but she was the best interview of last year. She was incredible.
She's a very eloquent, brilliant, generous, wonderful woman.
She was phenomenal. And she said,
She's great.
Make sure you always refer to him as David Grohl.
This is the thing. That's how you could tell people that have known me before Nirvana.
Right, yeah.
Because on the record, Nevermind, I think I'm credited as Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
And so after that, everybody just thought of it. But my entire life, everybody had called me David.
Yeah.
And then I became a Dave.
You're David to us. David Grohl to us.
Yeah.
I loved the book, by the way. Cradle to Stage was a phenomenal book. It was great. It was a lovely foreword from you as well.
Yeah,
I believe it's been made into a TV series as well. Is that right?
Yeah, she had. Well, it's funny. When she first started thinking about writing the book, it was because she's been on tour with me for 25 years or something, and she always meets musicians, but she never really gets to meet their mothers. And because she's at all these shows, she started wondering, like, where are all the other mothers? Like, shouldn't they be here too? You know. So she had the idea to write the book about the relationship between the child and the mother and the musician, and how that sort of determines their creative output and stuff like that. She started getting in touch with people like Dr. Dre's mom, or Pharrell's mom, or Michael Stipe's mom, or Miranda Lambert's mom. And she made friends with all these mothers. And what she really wanted to do is she wanted to have a dinner where all of them could sit around a table and just chat, because they all have really shared experiences. There's parallels, no matter where they're from or what type of music. And when she said that, I was like, oh, let me film it. we could make a special, like a documentary special. We just get a tracker on the table and film the whole thing, and then we can interview the artists and then fill it in with archival footage and stuff, and it'll be great. And it didn't happen. And then maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, she said, I think I want to do like a series where each episode will be about a different mother, and there'll be themes and stuff. So we went into Live Nation to have a meeting, and at the end of the meeting they said, like, okay, well,
let's do it.
Where do we send the check? I was like, I've never had a fucking meeting that easy in my life.
Yeah, it was funny. So she did say to us that Taylor Hawkins always starts by swearing and then apologising.
It's true.
Which kind of happens every time.
Well, she doesn't like it when people apologize for swearing.
Yeah, right.
Because she appreciates it as some expressive form of language.
Language, just as well for you, really, isn't it?
Sure, she's fucking right, too.
She's a school teacher as well, isn't she? So that's where it comes
35 years.
We were out once about 10 years ago in Portugal, and Taylor Hawkins was walking around the bar asking everyone to punch him in the stomach.
Oh my God.
And I had a right good go at it. You know, I gave him a really good punch and just a little bit in the heart, which I think he remembered.
Yeah.
What's the most mental thing you've seen Taylor Hawkins do when you've been on tour?
Mental thing?
Yeah. When you thought, ooh, that might have just gone a bit too far.
Well, I do remember, he doesn't drink anymore, but I do remember when he first joined the band. I mean, we were like in love with each other. Like the minute the first time we had a beer together, we're like, we're gonna be best friends for the rest of our lives. And it's true. Like we're like this.
Yeah.
So he joins the band, and I had him come over to my house. I was living in Los Angeles. I had him come over to my house, and we sat in front of my stereo and played records with a bottle of tequila. And we do a shot of tequila and listen to a song. And we do a shot of tequila and listen to a song. Do a shot. And then he started saying, like, okay, let's do 2 in a row. So we did 2 tequilas in a row and listen to a song. Then we do like 3 in a row. And then we hit 3 in a row, and he kind of went, hold on. And he went to the bathroom and just threw up all over the place, came right back and said, like, all right, let's do 4 in a row. I was like, okay.
Has this led to band prayer, which I believe is a Foo Fighters ritual that you maybe like to share with us? Can you tell me about it?
No, I mean, I don't know. The way I look at it is I like to go on stage laughing.
Right.
So the last 15 minutes before we go on, it's usually just the 6 of us in a room fucking laughing about whatever, about anything. We're having a couple drinks, and I don't remember the last time we walked on stage in a bad mood.
Right.
And we'll hold the show until we actually get that feeling like, you know, we're genuinely excited to do it. There are nights where it's hard, where you're fucking tired. And, But the minute you start going for it, it's like everything changes.
Taylor said he still gets really, really nervous.
He does.
Do you? How are you with the old nerves after
I don't
all
get
these years?
nervous anymore.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is a bit weird, yeah.
It scares me a little bit.
Right.
When
Does
someone
anything
says like
make you
there's
nervous?
100,000 people here tonight, I'm like, fucking let's go. Get out there like, ah.
What does make you nervous?
What makes me nervous? You know, being a parent. There's
Yeah,
1,000
yeah,
things
God,
that
yeah.
make you nervous being a parent.
Yeah, sure.
But that's the thing, like once you become a parent, you start thinking of like, you know, if you had any phobias before, elevators or airplanes or bridges or whatever, your heights,
Yeah.
and you've got a kid, you start thinking like,
Danger.
no, you start thinking like, I can't be a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
You know, get over it.
Yeah.
Get on the plane and shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Get on stage and play the gig. So I don't know. I don't really know.
Nothing really. Can
I'm
I tell you
not
something that
scared of
makes me a little bit nervous?
What?
We are backstage at the moment in your rehearsal room, right? With some flight cases around us.
Yeah.
There's one just behind me with Corden written on it.
Yeah, that's right.
See, once somebody's interviewed you, you just put James Corden in a flight case.
He's in
and
the
keep
fucking
him.
box right
Tour
now.
gimp.
Yeah.
He's-
You ruined the surprise. He was going to jump out at any moment.
You know, just get. See, after I've done this tonight, am I in a flight case? Toured orange in the mouth. That's
Exactly. Bring me the gimp.
me. Bring me the gimp.
It's like Pulp Fiction.
We are in your inner sanctum, your rehearsal room. Can you just talk us through it as well? How do you prepare for your shows?
Well, I don't really.
It's quite relaxed, David.
You know,
would say.
I change my jeans and T-shirt into another pair of jeans and another T-shirt, and then
Not underpants, so.
I do wear underpants.
That's
because you don't want to be
interesting.
fucking swinging around out there in front of 60,000 people. And then I'll take some Advil
Yeah.
because for my like knees and my back, I'm getting old. Have a couple drinks.
Yeah.
Listen to some music.
That's band prayer.
It's band prayer.
Now, I'm writing a really lowbrow, terrible book called Slash Gordon, right?
Ooh.
It's called Slash Gordon, terrible pun on Flash Gordon, and it's about awkward encounters in the bathroom with famous people. Because I once had this terrible moment in a toilet beside Sean Connery. He was my hero, I met him, tried to make conversation. He said, now's not really the time, is it, son? Which was a special moment.
That's good.
But then I thought, who would he say is the most famous person he's had a chat with at the toilet? Now, I've asked this to every artist who's come in the last 18 months, and you've been an answer twice. I asked Josh Homme. He said, I've never peed beside David Grohl, but I've peed on him. He told us that. And Ben
True.
Ben
wasn't in
Biffy,
the bathroom.
Ben from Biffy Clyro said he peed beside you at a festival. Felt a little bit weird being around you looking at your undercarriage.
How funny.
Dave Grohl, who is your Slash Gordon?
Oh God. No, I'm not sure. That's a tough one. I've pissed next to some really famous people.
Oh, yes.
I don't know. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head.
Sir Paul McCartney. We had him on the show, or he's on tomorrow night actually. He told
is
us
he?
He had peed beside Mark Ronson and Gordon Ramsay, the sweary chef.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I do remember going to the Rainbow once during the Nirvana years and being in a bathroom that Chris Novoselic pissed next to Slash, and I think he said, "That's quite a splash, Slash." But that wasn't. It was more his experience than mine.
You know, that's exactly what I was looking for, so
Yeah.
thank you very much for
There
that.
you
Now, last time you spoke to Radio X, you did a great interview where you did an impression of Christopher Walken. So not only do we call you David Grohl, every time we mention the band, they are now the Foo Fighters.
Yeah, Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters. But your impression was phenomenal, right? Really good. Have you got anything else in your locker? Any other great
No.
impressions?
I'm not an impressionist.
Have you not got that up your sleeve?
I'm not very impressionistic. I'm impressionable, but I'm not great at the impressions.
Okay.
Now, the Christopher Walken one had been around for a really long time, and we actually years ago we had this idea that we wanted to do like a crowd safety video before every gig.
Like an airplane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Christopher Walken narrating, and you know, stage diving is not allowed or whatever, and like have this whole thing.
Yes.
And we never did it, but obviously we're huge fans.
Can you not just do all interviews as Christopher Walken from here on in?
It's funny, once you get into that headspace, you can't stop.
We can't do it on the radio without saying Foo Fighters every single time.
It's hard. It's a little bit, you know, New York, because he's got a little bit of New York accent.
Yeah.
But then the one that, you know, most people, when they do Christopher Walken, they accent the wrong words, always the last ones or whatever. But you have to remember that he's also got the creepy low voice.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
The sinister Avita Kill voice.
He starts talking like that, and it comes out of nowhere.
Comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Now, we're here in Manchester tonight at the Etihad Stadium, right? A lot of the guys who play soccer here normally are off at the World Cup. Are the Foo Fighters following the World Cup in any way? And if so, who's your team?
You know, I got to be honest, I have not followed sports since I was a young lad, a wee lad. I'm not a very sporty person.
Yeah.
I was actually a goalkeeper my entire childhood career. Yeah. From the time I was 6 to maybe 13 or something like that. Yeah. I was always a goaltender.
Yeah.
And I played lacrosse too, and I was a goalie in that sport as well. But once I discovered acid and punk rock, I was kind of out of there.
Now, we've got two great support acts tonight. The Cribs are on. Yeah, fantastic.
They did great. You could fucking hear them all.
Okay, hear them in the background. Will Fallis as well. What is the selection process for a Foo Fighters support act? How do you go about choosing them?
Well, I mean, one of the great things about being in the position that we're in, playing these big shows, is we get to decide who's playing with us, and also we try to expose audiences to great new music that maybe they might not otherwise have heard. Now, both of those bands are fucking huge. I think Wolf Alice and the Cribs, they're doing really well. They don't need our help. But there's some times where we'll take out bands that are lesser known and have them come out on the road with us. Like there's this band, the Struts, that are from England.
Unbelievable, yeah.
That I guess they don't get a lot of love in England, but in America, they're the best opening band we've ever had. Yeah. That kid Luke, the singer.
He's outstanding.
It's unbelievable. Like he'll walk out in front of an audience in like Tulsa, Oklahoma, where nobody has ever heard of them. And by the end of the show, he's got the entire audience in the palm of his hand.
And he'll own it.
And I love seeing that. Like to be able to turn an audience like that is not easy.
Yeah.
But no, it's great too. I mean, this, and then we've got the Kills playing with us, and we've got Slaves playing with us. These are all bands that we enjoy and we listen to.
Great bands.
So we're lucky to be able to have them come play with us.
And one last question on that point. With a lot of the bands coming through, they often have bad nights when they go on stage. But we ask all the artists who come on about their worst gig, just to offer that little bit of inspiration and maybe some support. When they've had a stinker, it happens to the best as well. Yeah. What's your worst gig, David?
Well, my worst gig turned into my best gig. When I broke my leg, I thought, this is the worst gig of my life. Yeah. And then we got up on stage and finished the show, and it was the best show of our entire career. Yeah. And we just played there again recently. Yeah. And I had a little post-traumatic, looking at the stage and looking where I fell off. It's like, woo. Yeah. But I don't know. We haven't had. I don't want to fucking jinx it, but
I'm sorry if I have as well.
No. Usually we walk off stage feeling like there are times where we feel like we could have done better.
Cool.
But I've never walked off stage thinking I never want to do that again.
Well, you've now got a rental business for the Throne as well, haven't you? Axl Rose borrowed it. A couple of other people have had it. Make a nice little sideline for you.
I've been asked by a few people. Yeah. To borrow it when in need. Yeah. And like when Axl borrowed it, his crew, his management, they were like, well, how much you charge for the Throne? I was like, you can't charge anybody for the Throne, that's bad karma. So I let him have it. And then at the end of the tour, he gave me, as a thank you gift, the most incredible guitar, the best guitar I've ever had in my entire life.
No way. What was it?
It's a Gibson ES335, but it's like a single dot. They're kind of rare. It's like a 63 or a 65 or something, and it's just I use it all over the new record.
There's the karma.
It's amazing.
All over concrete and gold. Yeah. The Throne bought this guitar.
Thank God.
David, thank you so much,
Thanks, man.
You've looked after us like royalty tonight. It's incredible. Even the catering's better than you too, so you must have done quite well somewhere. Yes. Come on. Thank you, dude. That was amazing.
Good to see you.
Radio X. Radio.